are fearfully and wonderfully made. You are destined for greatness. You are more than enough just the way you are. And you are here today because this is exactly where you're supposed to be. Are you ready?
I tell you, that will fire you up, ladies, if that doesn't.
We only heard that 5-6 times. She goes, listen to this. We cranked it up. Let's do it again and again.
Yeah, ladies, this is especially for you because you belong to be on this, you belong to be at this event. It's called the Belong Tour. And I tell you, the producers of Women of Faith, a lot of us are familiar with the Women of Faith. It's a women's Christian event that over 20 years they traveled the country. Well, now the producers are bringing us the Belong Tour. And one of the fantastic speakers is joining us this morning, Jen Hatmaker. Good morning, Jen. How are you?
Good morning.
Girls, good morning. Thank you for having me.
It's great to have you. What an honor to have you with us here in Central Nebraska. And you guys are heading to Nebraska this weekend. So how excited are you?
I'm on a flight tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Heading your way. So excited. I was actually on the Women of Faith tour last year, and we were in Lincoln, and I remember looking at the girls on the team saying, what is going on here? These women are wild and excited and wonderful. It was one of our best crowds of the whole tour.
Well, I tell you, we are excited, and not that Ronnie and I are the least bit wild, but we're pretty psyched up for having you ladies in Lincoln. Now, I should say everyone, but I would say 99.9% of women, including myself, watching or whatever, have been to the Women of Faith. And so I can just imagine the Belong Tour is just going to be as dynamic. And I love this whole title of Belong, because tell us what the theme is, the underlying thing of the Belong Tour is, Jen.
Yeah, thank you. We are just girls on a mission to make sure that every single woman knows that she matters, that her life has purpose and meaning, that she has a sisterhood that she belongs to. And so our hope is with every single thing in the tour, that with every word, with every song, with all the language choices, that nobody comes to us and feels like they are on the outside of some secret club that they didn't get the memo on, that they don't know the language for, that they missed the messaging on. So our aim was to set the widest possible table and invite every last woman, whether you have a faith background or not, whether you are a church goer or not, whether your life is pulled together right now or totally not. Everybody is welcome and everybody has a seat at the table.
Perfect.
Jen, I know there's a lot of speakers that are going to be at this tour. What are you specifically going to talk about and cover?
Yeah, we all talk a couple of times. And so one of my messages is kind of about pulling dark and scary things out of their hiding places where they are ruining our hearts and ruining our souls and ruining our relationships and ruining our marriages, and pulling them into light where we can truly be set free. That's just really the way that we're designed. And the second one is really about running your race. What is your purpose? What is your lane? How has God gifted you? What sort of gifts and talents has He built into your life? And what would it look like if you just said yes to those things? If you just pushed fear aside, if you pushed insecurity aside, if you just said, this is the race set in front of me and I'm going to do it with conviction and commitment.
One thing I love hearing from you, Jen, and I can hear it in your voice, is your passion for speaking to women. And I know this has been a dream for you because you are a writer of several amazing books. And the fact that you can share this with other women, you know what, because we all go through this. And I know all of the women on the tour are going to have kind of that message. Tell us a little bit about your background and what brought you to this point.
Oh, yeah. Don't get any fancy ideas that just because we're on a stage speaking, that our lives are not at all like everybody else's. We're moms. We're all hustling. Some things that we do are working. Some things are not. Some things are succeeding. Some things are failing. We work at our marriages. I mean, we're just like everybody. So, and you're going to hear that a lot. There is no kind of us and them mentality at all. It's super honest. Very, very transparent. I think you'll see that when you come. As for me, I live here in Austin, Texas, and my husband and I have been in church work our whole adult lives. We planted a church 8 years ago, and we run a huge nonprofit called the Legacy Collective. It's a giving community, and we have 5 kids. So we got a lot of irons in the fire, is what I'm saying.
You absolutely do. And, again, I can just tell just from listening to some of your videos on YouTube that you are a dynamic, passionate speaker. You bring it as it is. You tell us, ladies, this is life, and we're going to get through it together. So again, it's going to be a wonderful event coming up tomorrow in Lincoln, the Belong Tour. We wish you safe travels and Godspeed on everything, and the blessings that you're going to bring in the lives that you have already begun to change, you and the other women that you're going to be talking with. So thank you for being a part of our show this morning, Jen.
Thank you for having me on, and all your listeners, it's not too late to join us. We've got room for you. So even if you had no plans to come this weekend, I'm just telling you, it might be the best decision you make this year. So we would love to see you tomorrow at the arena.
Amen, sister. There we go. Thank you, Jen. We appreciate you.
Thanks
We'll
for
see you.
having me.
You're welcome. And we'll be back with more NTV's Good Life in just a moment. Stay with us.